If you see a chiropractor or you've been to a chiropractor in the past, I have a question for you. Do you know why you see a chiropractor? Or do you know what the goal of a chiropractic adjustment is? Or what a chiropractic adjustment is in the first place? And I'm not talking about just keeping you out of pain or helping to improve your headaches. Today, we're talking about one of the most important aspects of chiropractic, subluxation. First, we have to understand what the role of the spine is. The spine is made up of alternating bones and vertebral discs. The purpose of the spine is to protect the delicate spinal cord inside of it. Think of it this way. Your brain is protected by the helmet that is your skull, and the spinal cord is protected by the spine, kind of like armor. These discs are made up of the annulus fibrosus along the outside and the nucleus pulposus within the inside. And as long as the annulus on the outside stays intact, the bones can move properly the way that they need to. So what exactly causes subluxation? Well, we've talked about this in the past, but it's mostly trauma, which is exactly why we asked during your history if you've had any accidents, falls, or any other injuries that we should probably know about. So how exactly does this happen? Well, trauma causes this vertebra to move backwards, compressing the disc and putting a lot of pressure on the nucleus in the inside of the disc. So this pressure on the nucleus causes it to move outwards against the annulus and puts a lot of pressure and compresses and damages those fibers. The change in these tissues triggers inflammation, which causes the disc to swell. As the disc swells, it starts to compress the spinal nerve that comes out back here. This compression of the spinal nerve is where we start to see symptoms and dysfunction. So we start to see pain, numbness, tingling, digestive problems, menstrual irregularities, and so much more. And this doesn't only happen in cases of extreme trauma either, like a fall or a car accident. It happens as a result of things that we do every single day as we live our lives, like carrying groceries, sitting at our desks all day, picking up our kids, all of these things. Unfortunately, subluxations are degenerative conditions, meaning that if a subluxation has been there for days, weeks, months, years, decades, that disc will start to break down in between those vertebrae. And once it's gone, we can't get it back. And that's where we come in as chiropractors. Getting adjusted helps to maintain what's already there to prevent any further degeneration. And that's why we always say that's why we see kids. If we see kids when they're young, we can prevent problems before they start rather than having to attack a problem that's already there. Don't believe me? Let's look at some x-rays. This is an x-ray of a patient who's been receiving Gonstead chiropractic care exclusively for the last 30 years. If you look at his spine, you notice that there's very minimal degeneration, and this patient is in his 60s. This is a patient who has received care on and off throughout her life, but really hasn't been consistent with getting adjusted, and you can see the significant degeneration that's going on within her spine. So what exactly does an adjustment do? Well, an adjustment is not just simply popping a bone or snapping or cracking a joint. The adjustment is to get on the back part of this bone, push it back to front, back onto its disc, right where it belongs, helping to take the pressure off of the spinal nerve back here. And as a result, the swelling and the inflammation and everything else will decrease as well. And we get proper functioning of the nerve again. So I hope you learned something today about subluxation, more about chiropractic, what the adjustment is supposed to do, and you really found some value through this. The goal of our YouTube channel really is to go more in depth on some of these concepts than we can on an Instagram or Facebook type of platform. So if you enjoy these types of videos, please let us know, like the video, subscribe to our channel. We will be releasing more and more as the year goes on. If you ever have any topics that you'd like us to cover, just let us know. We'd be more than happy to make a video about it. But thank you so much for tuning in, and see you guys next time.